What? Yo, hello, what? Hello, can. Wait, I'm streaming now? Is it streaming? Yeah. Fuck. I got disconnected. Hello. Uh, I am live, nice. Dude, I don't know. Something happened and like it said my stream key is not connected or it's a different stream key or something like that. And then I was like, what the fuck? Wait, I'm number 5 on this now? Oh my god, Skylar. Wait, is it the actual Skylar or a different one? Ah, yeah. It's the same Skylar. Okay. I can snipe Skylar? Dude, I don't think it's possible. Look. Also, Skylar has been not been playing Kovacs. It's not even worth anything. Sniping you, though, that would be something. Oh, yeah, fuck, also. This.
I think, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but once I got used to it, I would say I was a pretty decent player.
You're just 8 clicks away.
It helps that I had a lot of
Nah, I'm
experience with
not.
COD and stuff, but
Hmm.
I think it's 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 hard because I feel like it's different for everybody, you know, and it depends what game you play. If you're playing like Counter Strike or something, you're fucked. Like lower that sense right now, you know. But
Card
you
is
can get
on
away
there.
with it.
That kind of CM is doable, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get away with it with certain games. I do think it will limit you. It's gonna put you in a box.
That's a nice way of putting it, actually. Limits,
Yeah.
your stylistic options as well. You're kind of forced into a snappy, quick style because only wrist and whatnot.
Yeah, I think with certain games you can be good.
What
But I
was your
think you will.
experience raising your sensitivity, actually? Because when we met, I got you to play on like what 30 or something,
Yeah.
and it was a pretty big shift, wasn't it? And I don't know. I think that and how it affected your skill will give a pretty full picture, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even before I met you, I would like lower my sense and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just couldn't do it because I would do it so drastically. I would go from like 15 to like 45 centimeter. And I'd be like, I just can't do this. Like I'm moving, I have to move my arm so much. It's like too much, you know. I was used to using my two thumbs on my controller. It was, you know, it was a big adjustment. So I just went back to my fast sense and then like fast forward to when I met you and stuff, and you would get me to try some lower senses, and at the time I was like, well, this is boring, you know. Where am I? This isn't gonna get me my flick clips, but now that I've got used to it, I've gotten so much better. I'll tell you. Like,
It's
I
pretty
would.
drastic, isn't it?
It's an insane. If I go back and watch my old clips versus my clips now, which are on like, you know, in COD like 35 centimeters or something, I play something around there. Um, it's so much different. I think you can, like I said, you can be good on that crazy high sense, but I don't know. I feel like you can get good on a medium sense as well, or even a low sense, and probably push your peak.
I agree. I agree. Although I will say, I feel like you have very strong fundamental, like wrist and fingertip micros, and you had them the whole time actually, but you just had to develop your arm because of all that time you spent on like Skypad high sense, which I think is cool. That it wasn't wasted time; it was like training time.
It was like basically I dived into the deep
Yo,
end of the pool.
let's go.
And I've now that I've swum over to the like middle area, I feel very
Okay,
comfortable on
so
both a
I
lower
need to
sense
play
and a high
this till I
sense.
get
So
Jade. How
I
much
don't
is
regret
Jade?
playing on such a high sense.
How much
In
is
fact,
Jade
I'm glad I did because yeah, it's given me a lot of what's the word?
850?
Like
No,
oh my
Focus
god, one of you
practice?
yeah, one
Oh,
of you
well,
say
that
it.
floating
Yeah,
heads.
it can provide.
Or do you mean like
very-
focus practice with
Yeah,
that
850.
muscle group, or do you mean like well-roundedness as a whole because you've been able to train everything?
Both, yeah.
Okay.
I've spent
I think
time
you
on
and I were the
license as
opposite.
well, like for that reason. I played
Oh, nah, it's
17 for a while
intermediate,
and then
bro.
25
I'm
for a while
stupid.
longer, and I feel like it trained that skill set.
I need
so
690 on
yeah,
this.
can definitely
Yeah.
watch.
Oh no, 770.
I feel like you and I were
Yeah.
the opposite, where prior to getting into aim stuff more, we would play like really low sensitivities.
Yeah, I was 70
Yeah, me
CM,
too.
80 CM on Counter Strike, so definitely
What
was
were you,
a shift.
Pingu?
50 to 70 on Apex, yeah.
Oh my god.
On Apex. That's worse.
It was not good. It was a crunch for sure.
I feel like either end can be a crutch for mechanical weaknesses.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
I would agree with that as well.
I'm interested in the space thing though, if that's the reason why.
Me too.
I don't know. It is a difficult thing because that's the one thing you recommend, like, oh, lower your sense. I can't. I literally can't. I don't know. You gotta try the Rafa keyboard and lap thing. If that doesn't work for you, then okay, whatever. Play 17 CM, but exhaust your options first.
Yeah, I feel like you shouldn't just like have, not enough desk space now, or not want to play high or lower sense, and then be like, okay, I'm a high sense player now. I feel like, yeah, you're putting yourself into that box for no
Yeah.
real reason, and you don't have to.
And I'll say as well, you have to like try it for more than like a game or a day, because that's what I did. I would try it for a game and I'd be like, oh my god, this is too much for me, and I just would not get used to it, and I would go back to my crazy sense. But once I stuck with it for more than a few days, I got used to it. It was, it came pretty naturally. So
You just got to get used to engaging your arm a little more in those movements, I think.
yeah, I will say, I mean, my arm was tired for the first few days that I was doing. Do you remember at your place I was doing like target switching and I was on
Yeah.
a bit of a lower sense? My arm was fucking tired.
It like, I don't know, I don't want to say burns because that makes it sound like it like hurts, but when you're getting used to it, yeah, you feel it.
You feel it. You're engaging muscles you weren't before.
Yeah.
I need a smaller cross and
My
mine, bro.
experience to raising my sense was pretty similar though. There was a short Kovacs arc for me where I felt very confident in any like whenever my fingers would be the driving force in movements. So I'm like, okay, how can I lean into that more? Like maybe I just get like really good with really high sense, make my fingers do like the vast majority of movements, and I thought maybe that could be a way to lean into it. But yeah, I would run into the issues that we talked about earlier, right? I was like running out of tension budget, and there are better ways to lean into my fingers. They can still play a very frontal role without making them like the source of the flick.
I feel like you get tired fast as well if you're only using the one muscle group.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, it was still two. It was still two.
I wonder if you could do like fingertip only. They can be the driving force behind everything. I don't know about only though. Locking your wrist and doing only fingertips is like,
Yeah,
you'd need like
that would
one
be
CM or
crazy.
something. Have I shown? I think I have shown you that VOD of me playing 1 CM on VT Intermediate.
You've put it on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Then I have seen it.
That was a fun challenge. And yeah, I think it can be fun. It can be a good training tool. Overall, though, I wouldn't recommend it. You can get good with it. I'd advise against it though. I'd suggest looking into ways to increase your mouse space and at least go up to like 25, 28. That's kind of what I put as like the upper bound almost of like, if you go higher than that, I would make sure you know what you're doing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I agree.
I feel like I've picked all the questions so far. Would either of you two like to have a look through the question list and see what looks
Oh my god,
interesting
I
so
don't have
far?
it up for me.
Yo,
It's just linked in the
I
chat.
did want to float something
Sesame
that my friend
best,
talked about
let's
earlier.
go.
And it's something I've thought about for a while, which is like, how can we make Kovacs into like a multiplayer kind of score-based mode, like OS multi? And she thought of this idea, which I thought was really funny, where she said, for every minute you switch who's the bot and like who's shooting.
Oh my god, that's so good. So like I would like WSD spacebar the airbot and move it around and like someone else would have to track. I love that. That's amazing.
That's cool.
And then you have power-ups, like one person has like a score booster, the other person has like a like
Speed
you're forced to
boost.
long strafe.
What
Multiplayer
about
Kovacs.
how would like other scenario types work, or would they just not?
That's the problem, is that it feels very limited, and it feels like everything would turn into like a crazy reactive scenario.
Yeah, it's still cool though. I like the idea.
Mhm. The other idea I had was tag from OS, which is a cooperative OS mode where every like different every like 10 notes or so it'll change who's playing. So you can
I
take them
feel
to
like-
Kovacs.
I feel like that's more interesting in OS as like a default because you're like working through a
Yeah, it
song
is.
instead
And
of just
it's
like
a
clicking
combo.
different sequence of dots. Maybe.
Okay, what if you're in the same bounce map?
What if it switches scenarios and like you have to put in like a person from your team for each? Actually, this was going to happen. There was going to be, I'm training law. Here we go. There was going to be a tournament, Voltaic versus RA versus Yuki Aim. Everyone would get a team and they would choose members of their team to play for different scenario types. So
Damn.
like I would go in for like target switching and then like who was around back then? Fuck, it's been a while. Like
When was
Haunter would
this?
like go in for tracking or something like 3 years ago at this
That's
point.
cool.
Oh, okay.
Never ended up happening, but I thought it was a cool idea.
It is.
The first time I ever talked with Cindy, we floated that idea.
678. Okay.
Because I hosted a very impromptu Kovacs like tourney thing on my
I
stream.
watched that live.
And he reached out. That's
6, 7,
insane,
68.
actually.
Yeah, I watched it live.
Bro,
when you were
again?
that you were like watching him
Again.
play Vox and he got a 117.
Mm.
You don't remember, do you?
No, I remember it.
Okay.
I don't remember the score though.
Like,
Um,
what's my luck?
No, I remember the run quite vividly.
that's really interesting. I barely remember the stream, and I was the one who did it.
I don't remember what I fucking did this morning.
I was gonna say, but yeah, that's one of the first things that we talked about. Was that kind of like, you know, choosing one player per scenario type, and then you like, exhaust them, and then that was like
Like,
something derivative of like crew
Dude.
battles from Melee, where you like
so
get-
fucking stupid.
you have like a pooled life together, and you like choose to send in the right person at the right time for the right matchup. But it's tricky. It's tricky with Kovacs.
It is what it is, I
And
guess.
things like you know, having two people play the same scenario at the same time, it's not like OS where you can like break combo and like the slightly less consistent player will win. Like the consistent player was gonna win like every time. So there's less intrigue there, I feel. But I don't know, it's tricky.
And I feel like the team idea has kind of broken now because of the existence of Matty. Like,
Well, you can only use them once. You gotta
Oh,
figure
I
out which
see.
scenario to use them for.
so you got to build your team
kind of
with like
interesting.
everything but dynamic and then just put him in for dynamic and he just fucking crushes it.
This is cool as fuck. Can we bring this back to like present day?
We should think of something. I feel like the Red Bull one was a huge misstep of like
The
having
Red Bull.
Ready check.
the Ready Check one.
Ready check, yeah.
Because like there were a lot of competitive players of, you know, similar skill that could have gone head to head and it would have been interesting, but instead they would just not be on stream at the same time.
Matty versus pro player with like 10 hours in aim training. Who wins?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nah, we're kind of cooking with this.
I agree though. There's potential there for I don't know, something, and it
I
is
do
a
think that
shame
multi
that,
lobbies.
yeah?
Sorry, from
Okay.
OS, where you just like play the same scenario at the same time, and like ideally with the same RNG, but that might be a bit much. Would just be a
Oh, that's
cool
actually
like
an aim
social
lab
way to
right now.
play Kovacs. Oh,
Yeah, they've added it.
okay, well.
Okay,
good
but
idea.
is it in Kovacs?
No. So it's a new idea.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
Let's
like
get
aim
it added
lab,
to
aim lab
Kovacs.
duels. You can like, I think it's how does it work? Do you kill per a scenario or do you pick a person verse? I'm not sure. I did one once
it's
by
duels?
mistake. Yeah. I did one by mistake once, and I ended up in a grid shot duel with someone, and I was so nervous.
Oh my god, did you win?
I did, yeah.
Obviously.
How are you nervous?
Because what if I lost? What happens?
That
Reputation
would be very
ruined.
embarrassing.
0% win rate in aim lab duels. I would have to fucking grind my ass off to win aim lab duels. Is this something that we could organize, or is this something that we should leave to the big players in the scene?
Well, who
I
else is
think
gonna
it
do
could
this?
be.
We'll take Revisect, aim lab, Kovacs has done, like, what was it? Oh, I've forgotten the name. They had comps for a while.
Yeah, what could be
Nah,
cool
let's do
is
it.
if we pool 12 players and then we have to like pick them. Like we all are captains and we have to pick them.
Oh.
It's
Yeah.
like turn by turn, like kickball style, and then we assemble our roster.
I like
Oh, but
that.
what if you
I
get
like
picked
So
last? It'd be like
nice.
fucking sports in school all over.
You're right, actually, that's messed up.
Yeah.
that. Okay, we can't do that. How can we avoid this?
Well, maybe we can justify by saying it's because of their specialties. You know, we have to pick for the most competitive specialties first.
Yeah, I already have
It's
a
not
dynamic
really.
player. Sorry.
That's what they said in school.
You're getting
in
last
fucking
pick.
dodgeball. You don't have the right specialties, Jade.
I'm sure we could just like, I don't know, pick in rounds or something.
Oh well. We'll think about it. That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. We'll see how people react to this bit in the comments, because you know this is just shooting ideas around for now. There's no
Yeah.
solid plans. We're not going to rock up with an announcement of the raw input aim training tournament or anything. But you know, if it is something people
$10,000
really
reward.
wanna see, we probably could organize a tournament of some kind if people really want to see it. I don't know what to do for prizes. Mouse pads, I got plenty of those. I can give
Yeah,
mouse pads away.
give one of your zeros away. You have like
I need all
20.
of those. I don't understand. They can have the vegan or something.
Yeah, true.
I guess one of my original ideas was just getting the best possible score within an allotted time frame, like 5 minutes, get the best score you can. And like with nerves and with like choosing when to restart, I think it could be somewhat interesting.
I think so too, because they're, you know, one of the big stylistic differences
Okay,
between aim trainer
784.
players in terms of how they practice is how much they
Nice.
reset. You know, there'll be people who play for an hour and finish one run and it's a PB and they're happy. And then I sit kind of in the middle. I reset a fair bit, but I don't want to, you know, play for 10 minutes and not finish a run. That would be shit. And then there are people who just play out every run. And
Okay.
I don't know which would be
Jade.
better in this like tournament context.
Yeah. There were players in OS that I found really interesting who were like ranked super low, but would never like quit out of runs and would be like designated as tournament players because of just
That's
how good
cool.
they were consistently.
I'm curious if there is anyone in the top of aim training who's like that, because like you don't see the full play sessions, and everyone I've watched stream has reset roughly equivalent to how much I do. So
That makes sense.
Dude, what the fuck I clicked
I
on?
guess Matty probably would be the tournament player.
It's not even fair. It's Emmerich.
Let's shift like topics a little to how do you guys pick hardware from AQWEK? AQWEK? I'm going with AQWEK. Who submitted a bunch of questions, by the way. Thank you so much. They're all really good, and we're going to answer a few more of them this episode. So, this question, I saw it and was interested how you two would kind of approach it, because when I hear hardware specifically, I think of like
Wait,
computer
is this
specs
your
and
skin?
Yeah, I was thinking
Maybe
that too.
that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I used to
Do you think
hear.
the question is
Maybe.
meaning peripherals or like PC?
I think peripherals
stuff?
most likely.
I think so too.
You can
We
talk
can
about your
answer
PC
both.
stuff though if you want.
Yeah.
Only upcoming purchase for me is a 9950 X3D. Because I
Okay,
had
money
a,
bags.
No, I just am bad with the money
The
I have.
AdSense coming through.
I had a 5900X in the past and really liked how it performed for like video editing and stuff, but it was kind of shit at gaming. And then I got the 7800X 3D, which is like amazing at gaming and more than good enough for editing. But there have been a few times recently where I've had to do some like encoding on my CPU or something. It's just not fast enough right now. And that CPU has like a fuck ton of cores. They all have 3D cache and they're really quick cores, hopefully. And yeah, if it comes out and it's good, I'll probably end up buying it just because nice upgrade and does what I want, which is both really good workstation performance without sacrificing gaming performance, which has always been the thing for me for those 900 plus tier chips before. That ramble was probably interesting to like 2 people. Let's start talking about like peripherals now.
Yeah, but they just like the video, so thank you.
No, I think there's more overlap than you probably expect. But
Maybe.
yeah.
I mean,
Maybe.
can I tell my first PC
735.
story?
Yeah, go for
Sure.
it. That one's really good actually.
Is it?
Oh yeah, 46. Go to
I
46.
didn't know what I was doing. I went on like what was it called? Trade Me, which is like the eBay of New Zealand. And I basically picked based off what looked cool because I didn't know what all the fucking words were. I would click on the thing, it'd be like DDR, you know, fucking 16 gigabyte, and I was like, I don't know what this is. So I just picked based off how it looked. And I ended up paying $1,000 for a DDR3 system with a 1650. And I don't even remember the fucking CPU. It was a
I
fucking
forgot it was
dinosaur.
DDR3. That's crazy. What year was
you
this, by
build
the
it
way? Because this
yourself?
is important.
2021? Around there? Yeah.
Why
So,
would you go for not pre-built?
because my fucking AdSense wasn't hitting. I didn't have the fucking money, okay? I had to go on fucking eBay of New Zealand.
It was pre-built in the sense that like it was
Yeah, it
already,
was
but it was like
pre-built by someone
secondhand.
else.
It was secondhand.
And
Okay,
and the
okay,
be-
okay, I see.
the best part was that it was from a fucking vape shop. It was like a vape
770,
shop
okay.
system.
What?
So the case was white on the photo, but then when the guy brought it to my house, it was yellow because everyone must have smoked on it. So
God.
I was like, okay, that's fine, I guess. And then it didn't work, it didn't turn on. So I had to hit the
my
guy up
God.
again after I had paid, by the way. And I was like, hey, it doesn't turn on. Can you come back to my house, please? So the guy came back, thank God, because he would have been in his right to not. He came back and he worked on the PC in my lounge. My mom was watching from like her fucking smoke
That's
spot. She was like,
crazy.
who is this person in our house? You know, and so it turned out one of the DDR sticks was broken or something. I don't know. It must have got broken in his fucking car. And he was really nice. He replaced it for me. He must have had a spare or something. But
That
yeah.
actually is really nice.
And the last bit of the story was that I played MW 2019 on it, and I had to turn the render resolution to 60% because otherwise I did not get 80 FPS. And I was playing on lower FPS than my fucking PS4.
How did you stick with PC after that? Like
It was no.
pretty soon after? Or
No. It took me. I saved for about a year, and then I built my own PC that was like it had like a 3600. It was good. It was good for the time. No, I chalked it up to me being stupid and not doing research, and you know, just blowing money because I was like, I really want a PC. I want to do my target switches.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the worst feeling, isn't it? Because it's so like, oh, what's the word?
Okay, this
I've
one
forgotten
is
the
too
word.
dark.
It is so hard to look into PC specs and get a clear picture of like what you want for your use case, you know?
Yes,
and,
especially when you're
like,
brand new to it.
Yeah, and every time, like, I have built computers and they have just, like, I didn't even realize that a part did something that I didn't want it to, and I just spent hundreds of dollars on it, and I feel dumb as fuck. Like, every time I've made a big, like, leap in upgrade, well, after, like, you know, falling out of touch with the space for a bit, I've done something really fucking dumb and wasted a bunch of money, and it just will happen. And I guess there's a message to everyone who's had that happen. Don't feel dumb, because it happens to everyone. It's really
Happens to
fucking
the best
hard
of
to
us.
have, like, a good understanding of, components and PCs and how they work and what you need and what you want for what you want to do with it. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard to get into. Once you do, though, it's really rewarding. Like, the PC that I have now, I've built myself. I've gotten into it. I'm not a complete idiot anymore. I mean, at the time, I was playing in my bed on a 60 hertz monitor, so
I forgot about that you'd like lie down and play.
I would lay
instead
down,
of, like,
yeah.
having a
It was
desk.
comfy.
Oh. Sorry, we're just like 10 minutes answering a question that nobody asked.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
Raw input podcast over here.
Peripherals. Well, for me, I kind of have found my peripherals. If I don't know what to use, I will always go back to the OP1 and the Zero Soft. That's like, my neutral. It's endgame, if I could call it that.
Guess what's on my desk right now? That
What you
isn't.
got?
It isn't the free fall. It isn't the free fall. Guess what?
Okay.
Mine is?
What?
Otsu?
Type 99?
No,
What you
Why?
got?
Both of us are wrong?
it's a 0. Come on. Now.
Oh, shit.
Ew.
I didn't think you liked it that much.
I like. Oh, excuse me. I love the
I thought
0.
you were fully freefall pilled.
880.
I love the free fall, but I'm so
Dotsu.
rusty right now. I had to go to the 0.
Interesting. Okay.
It's like my fallback. It's like if I just need consistency, I do the 0.
Yeah, that makes sense to me, honestly. And I guess it's kind of the same for me. Right now I have the Raiden Soft on my desk and the HTS Ultra, which is the like super light one I talked about earlier. For testing peripherals, it's like whatever catches my eye or I get sent, I will try for a bit. But there's not really much like I don't know. There's not much in-depth thought there. It's just like, oh, that mouse looks interesting. I want to try it. So like I bought the M-Chose L7 because it was apparently OP1 adjacent, really cheap and good quality. And it's like, oh, that would be cool to have for a video, maybe. So try it out, see what I think. It's not really like I'm looking for a new main or anything. I'm kind of past that. Spoilers for a video I make in the future, actually.
Well,
Yeah.
you never know.
Maybe.
Cut it.
Maybe
The
the
Ying? OP1
Ying is
fork?
crazy.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, there's not much thought that goes into it anymore. It's just like if I'm playing,
960.
like
Hehe. Let's go.
Overwatch, or I want to play Marvel Rivals, I might grab the Raiden. If I want to play 10 FPS, I'll grab like a Zero or Freefall. Yeah, mostly it depends on what I'm doing. That's about it, though.
Yeah. The one thing I don't like about the free fall is, I mean, I don't know if it's skill issue on my part. My tracking is not good on it.
It's hard to
It's
track.
it's very jittery.
Yeah.
That's why I had the 0 on. But
That's
Yeah.
interesting because Laura and I were talking about that, how the free fall is really good at its niche, but that kind of issue does exist.
And I
Then we're
think
like,
you
oh well,
mentioned-
Jade used it for everything, so I guess
Yeah.
if with enough practice you make
Wow,
it
my
work. It's funny.
Jesus.
no, it's
Yo,
definitely it's
Freevo,
very
what the
very good at what it
what's up?
does. But
Mhm.
I was
Yeah,
playing
I-
some Black Ops earlier. The TTK takes a bit. I was very jittery.
What the
It's
fuck?
like the tech FPS pad though. It's really good for that.
It's so good.
really, really good. It's interesting though that the Zero has become that like return to neutral. I think it's cool.
Yeah. And it's orange, my favorite color.
True. What about for you, Pinker? What's because you've tried a lot of different stuff.
It's usually just the same as you. Yeah, I'm pretty much not looking for a replacement. I guess there's sometimes where I'm like, okay, if it's really good. I mean, I guess that's the same for you. Like if something
Yeah.
is interesting and good enough, then you'll make the switch. But you're not like looking for a new main most of the time.
Yeah.
Um,
Although, what was your like with the Key 83? What were you kind of going into that thinking?
It would be cool if it worked, and it did. So I'm still not like 100% certain that I'll keep using it forever.
What's your current?
There
name?
are some. It's the K83, yeah, and the HSK Pro. There are still some elements of glass that I do miss,
What's the big one?
and
The big ones.
I would say how easy it is for me to blend muscle groups. Maybe it's just because I've learned so much of my technique on glass, but especially like going between arm and other muscle groups feels so much more seamless to me on glass. And I'm guessing it is just how much time I've spent with it, or maybe it's my weird arm. But yeah, as much as the sleeve does help, there is still like that small difference that obviously you just cannot compete with glass in terms of pure frictionlessness. So yeah.
You've made me curious now. I'm going to ask Clover what his
1100.
experience with that has been, because he mainly learned on cloth and then swapped to glass and really likes glass now, so I'll ask him if he's noticed that.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, he'll have a good opinion.
But yeah, there's just not really. I don't know. I go back and forth a bit. For mice,
That's fair.
usually it's like things that are interesting to me are things that are weird, things that are like trying something that could be theoretically better, but it almost never is practical.
That mouse
one
that looked like it
exception-
exploded.
Oh, that
I
what
also-
was the
for that
comment?
mouse-
That was so funny. Like, oh, I think TSA's worried it's gonna like explode while I'm on the plane. Looks like it already has.
Yeah, don't worry, it's already has.
That was so good.
That's
Went
messed
off
up.
early.
I was gonna say. So my commenters for that mouse, it's Titan 1 by the way. It's like I log pile made a video. I was like, this mouse will haunt you, and it's just like some really strange steampunk looking mouse. And the people in the comments said like, okay, well, if the cable positioning is an issue, try running it through your sleeve. I'm like, that's a good idea. I'll give that a go. 10 minutes later, the connector, the solder connection breaks, and I have to send it back.
So
Thanks a lot,
In-game
commenters.
moment. Yeah.
Pew moments. I was gonna say, but yeah, these ideas are usually interesting but flawed because they're so out there. But the mouse that interested me recently was like the HTX Mini, which was kind of surprising given that I've only really used fingertip mice. But you know, occasionally a mouse will come by that I just perform really well with and consider maining, but I don't know if I will end up doing so.
I like
and
that
I,
one.
I might end up meaning it because it's really good. I like the sensor position. It being so high up. I just feel really sharp in like coloring with it and stuff. I don't know. Or maybe it's
I'm
the
curious
weight.
how you like
I
the
guess.
HTS Ultra.
Me too.
that-
I'm looking forward to trying it.
Wow.
I guess technically
Literally
it would
the
have a
same
less
scope.
forward sensor, or more forward,
Maybe. Hang on, I'm curious now.
because your palm.
She's grabbing it.
Nice.
She's taking my mouth. I'm stuck with a trackpad right now, by the way.
relative to my thumb, it is higher actually on the HTS Ultra.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because yeah, I
the-
pull this small into my palm.
1140. I
Right,
need
right.
1140 for this shit. I can't get that on clusters.
But yeah, it's a cool mouse for sure. I'll have a video about it probably in the next week or so. So
I
my
will
extended
watch.
thoughts there.
I guess that's the main thing that has been dictating my peripheral interest recently. Does it have a weird sensor position? Because I have been losing my mind over like how much does this matter? Am I going insane? Is it the weight of the mouse? Is it the shape of the mouse? Because like my aim is completely different on the HTX, and it has to be sensor position. I've tried small mice. I've tried
But it
light
could be
mice.
weight.
Could be weight.
The problem is that the two mice we have that have a forward sensor position are also under 30 grams, which
Yeah.
you have no other experience with. So we have these two variables we can't isolate right now until Ponage sends you the adjustable sensor position.
Yeah, that'll be cool to try. But
That would be cool to try.
I don't really know.
Okay,
if there's,
hold
like,
on.
super, Yeah.
You need to start sticking some clay inside the mouse. Get it up to OP1 weight, and then you can test.
Yes, of course. Ruin the
Shout out
mouse.
Ziles.
Yeah.
Oh no! Didn't he brick it?
Yes, he made it so the HDR can no longer charge because it was too full of clay.
That's so good.
Clay
Sorry,
overdose.
Ziles.
I actually did have a clay experiment recently because I had done something similar before where I had like tacky adhesive that I had found in like from like 10 years ago. I stuck it on my mouse.
Any
But I
normal
wanted, like, a
person
little
would
bit
throw
more.
that in the bin.
It worked. But anyway,
Go on.
I wanted a little bit more support for my pinky, kind of like the curvature of most mice, where the pinky section's a little bit flared out. I wanted that on my HSK, and with the adhesive, it would eventually get squished because this doesn't harden. So in theory, the clay seemed like conceptually quite sound, but I don't know. It's hard to get it in the exact shape you want. It doesn't really stick that well. There's like 10 pieces of clay on our floor right now.
In the containers, not just
Minecraft
like
room.
sitting out.
Oh, okay.
I did make a snowman out of the clay. That was probably
That
the
was
best
awesome.
thing I've done with it. He's got 2 silver foxes as his eyes.
Nice.
I've
Yeah, it's-
forgotten what that question was. The original question we were.
How do we
answering.
find our hardware?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Thank God you remember, because I don't.
No, me neither.
I'm just
Um,
yapping.
Tangentially related, because we're talking about glass pads and stuff. Do you recommend glass pads for aim training beginners? From Invicta Vasquez. I'm so sorry if I butchered that.
Oh,
Probably not.
that's
don't
what I
think
was going
it'll-
to say.
I don't think it'll necessarily hurt you, but it is a pad that's on the extremes, and I feel like if you're getting into aim training, you don't want to be anywhere near the extremes at the start.
I agree.
Yeah, it's just
Although
harder.
can work. Like you mentioned, you started on the SkyPad, JD, and you liked it and you stuck with it.
870.
It helped me. In the long run, it helped me, but
Would
that's
I be
because I didn't know any
overstepping
better.
to say like a part of that is that you didn't know how scratchy it was, or
Well, I
was
had
yours not
the
too bad?
I had the supposedly broken SkyPad 3 as well, the clear one that has sensor issues. So I don't know if I had like a broken one. I was just like, yeah, this is good. Feels good. It's cold in the morning, but it feels good. So I don't know. I'm not the best person to ask, but I feel like if you're just starting out, you probably just want to get like get a fucking QCK or something. I don't know, can't go to JB Hi-Fi.
I like the IKEA. How do you say it? Landspilier.
Spillar.
Razer
It's really good. budget pad.
Strider.
If you don't want to invest too much, that one's really good. It doesn't last
Yeah.
long, but
That's
like
cool.
yeah, it's actually a really good pad. I think I still have mine. If you want to try it somewhere.
Sure.
It's just like generic kind of slow cloth pad that's decent.
All I know is that if someone comes into my DMs and they're like, hey, I'm brand new to mouse and keyboard, I don't know what to get, I would probably say Artisan Zero Soft or something. Just it's
Yeah,
like
same.
it's the mouse pad.
True neutral.
Yeah.
And I think any kind of glass pad would be,
Chaos
dozens
evil.
of pads down that list. I would not recommend it as like a default
Yeah.
or without, it's a niche and you have to know what you're getting into with that niche and you have to know why you want it. And I think when you're new, you just don't have that experience yet to know
Right.
what you're getting into. And you might try it and you might love it and you might try it and you might hate it. And it's just a big financial gamble to take before you know what
Yeah.
you're looking for.
For me
I
as
think
well, it
that's
was like,
another.
yeah, sorry, you go.
I was gonna say that's another thing that helps with my hardware search is that I've tried enough things to know what I'm looking for in a product. So I think if you don't have that experience, it's actually way harder. But
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of it is trial and error. What sounds good to you, it may not end up being good, but you won't know until you try.
It's why I recommend such neutral products to start with. Like, zero soft. Okay. Is it too slow? Is it too rough? Is it too fast? You know now and can kind of build off of that knowledge and build off of that understanding of what you like to narrow in on something more specialized. Then it's good enough that even if it's not perfect for you, it'll be good.
It won't hold you back. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was why I got a SkyPad, because people were like, it's cool, it's glass. It doesn't slow down. That was the biggest thing for me, because everywhere I would look, all the reviews and stuff would be like, after 6 months it slows down. I'm like, I don't want that. I have my controllers from Xbox 360. Like I fucking, I don't throw that shit out. I want my shit to last.
Can I
and
let
then
you
you
in
told
on a
me it
secret?
slows down.
It doesn't slow
Yeah.
down. It actually speeds up over time.
Hey, that's
So-
kinda cool though.
The skates will slow down. That's the main factor. But through using a glass pad, you're actually
Oh,
polishing
glass
it,
pad.
which
I
will
see, I
speed
see.
it up. The more you polish a glass surface, the faster it gets.
Shut
And like
was
over
my
the
Skype
course
at
of a
3?
few years, it'll get like, you know, faster. So they don't
Holy
have
shit.
infinite durability. If you want a perfectly consistent surface, you have to keep buying mouse pads one way or another. Yeah. Sorry. Ruin the fantasy.
I'm
of
just
class.
imagining
Destroy.
the mining meme where you just like keep digging. Somebody on the Skype had too.
The
Soon it
diamonds
will
are
be
just out
faster
of
than the
reach.
beast. Keep polishing, keep polishing.
Just one more year.
I've won 200 Obsidian Pros.
I mean, I was on the fucking super light with the stock skates, so you know.
With your hand size too. That's
my
fucked up.
my small hands. Why did it hurt so badly?
I think
What
it's
would be
still
your
crazy,
default
though.
recommendation? Sorry.
For mice?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I feel like for that one, there are more variables to kind of narrow down a suggestion
That's
off of
true,
nothing.
that's
So you
true.
got like hand size, you got grip style, you have like general shape preferences, just because people have held the mice and stuff.
Good point.
I feel like you can generally get a pretty decent grasp of what someone wants and then steer them in the direction. I think true neutral is the GPX, but I feel like it's less useful there because you can often, get more info before you give a recommendation.
That is a very good point.
Yeah, I mean, I have a few people who asked me for like mouse recommendations. I was just asked, you know, how big is your hand? How do you hold the
You can
mouse?
kind of go through the checklist of like, okay,
Although,
there's
I will
this.
say-
It's like a flea chart.
I have mostly like COD casuals in my DMs, and I ask how big is your hand, and they're like, why the fuck would I have measured my hand? That's weird.
A lot of people
is
say
a
that
little
actually. Or like,
Yeah?
how do you
Yeah.
measure? I've seen
Yeah.
people measure like without their thumbs, so they think they have like tiny hands, really thin.
I mean, when I first met you, I was like, how do I measure my hand? What the hell?
It's not the most intuitive. There's like an image you can just look up. If you look up like hand measurement gaming mouse, and it's got like a tape measure with the exact like dimensions you got to go from, and I just send that to people if they ask. So
Yeah. It's really funny to go from like the noob to like someone who like, I'm not a pro or anything, but I know more than the casual person. And
it's
yeah,
like a
it's,
cool
it's
little
just
milestone being asked
It
like
is.
questions about.
it is.
You know,
It's like,
the
why
mice
are you
and stuff.
asking me when there's viscose? You know, sure, I'll help you.
I should say this publicly. I've kind of made the decision to like. I used to try to reply to everything. I can't anymore. I'm really sorry. This is just going to be like a blanket apology for if I don't get back to your DM. It's either I make videos or I reply to everyone at this point. I can't do both. So sorry if I don't get back to you. I try to answer them when I can. I'm probably going to go through a bunch maybe tomorrow because I just posted the video. I'm not really working on anything super actively, but yeah, it would take so long to get through everything. For a while, do we want to say this, Pingu? The management thing?
Oh, that? Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Well, for a while, actually, I had you, Pingu, replying to some Twitter DMs on my behalf.
I love answering questions.
enjoy it,
Nobody
yeah.
asked me shit, so I'm like, you know what? If you trust my feedback on like AIM stuff, just like let me log in your account and I'll answer them for you.
Did you have a signature? Did you sign it like Pingu?
No, they would be like, "Thank you, Viscos. I really appreciate it." I'm like, no problem, buddy.
No, I feel bad that I can't reply to everyone now, but a line's got to be drawn somewhere. I think
Yeah.
I've
Yeah, for
kind of
sure.
done it for myself. Just like I can't reply to everyone.
Otherwise,
Sorry.
you'd be spending
it's good.
hours a day. Like, you guys can message me. I got time.
Anyway, sorry.
I saw somebody on Twitter named Sudoku who was making this like crazy like skeleton HSK mod. I'm like, okay, we'll see if he is willing to, let me try it. And he said like, oh, can you provide me your hand measurements? I'm like, yeah, it's these normal measurements.
Okay, 920.
And then he's
They're
like,
not
okay,
normal.
hey, I would like something more specific. So he busts out the calipers. He says like, I would like the approximate metacarpal length of each digit from base to wrist. I would like the length of each phalange from knuckle to knuckle, width of fingertips, width of palm. If you have any warping when you're flexing the fingers, let me know.
That's when I block.
And then he sent me like 6 diagrams with a bunch of different lines and abbreviations. I was very impressed, and it's cool that it's so thorough, but it was just
Whereas,
funny.
like,
that,
I need your foot
I've given
measurements
you 2
too.
numbers.
Just collecting like dimensions of AIM
Yeah.
numbers. Did you end up getting that mouse? You did, didn't you?
Which one?
Who?
The hand measurements one.
The
face
skeleton one?
measurements. Yeah, yeah.
No. It's been busy.
Oh, that's a shame.
Why not?
He also does artisan keycaps, which is like a really strange
Oh.
crossover.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's neat.
I fuck with those, but why are they so expensive for one keycap?
They're so expensive.
Like, oh my god, I could buy a whole
There's like
set.
such good gifts too, and it's like
Yeah.
50
Thank
you, by the
bucks
way,
for
for
even
the
an
one you
escape
got
key. Yeah, I forgot about that.
There are two more I think I want to talk about. Oh, okay. But there are a few more actually. We're already over time. How much?
We
do
can
you think
speed
I-
run it. I don't
Okay.
care at all.
Yeah, go for it.
So, roughly how many games did you have to put in to aim like this, and what variety of games do you play outside of Comp FPS? From Mark Comp 9344. Why can't I read numbers? A lot is the general answer for all of us. I think I'm well into the 5 digits now for FPS playtime. I've been playing since I was 6 years old, and I'm now turning 20 in February, so that's a lot of years already. And
Jesus.
I think since
That's
I was
grass.
10 in like 2015, I was like, yeah, I want to get really good at Counter-Strike. So a lot of it has been like consciously, like I was playing aimbots. I was playing like DM at like
890.
10 to try and like get better.
Oh, wow.
So the answer is a lot. I don't know exactly how many. Well and truly into the 5 digits. I don't think I'm approaching 20k. I think I'm low mid 10k hours.
I mean, I have at least 10k in just COD, so
Some of that is on console though.
Is that
Most of that is on
including?
console.
Right.
I would. I don't know, 70%, 75% is console. But, it taught me the fundamentals of aiming, even though it was controller.
As
I
well as
still had
like
my
understanding
crosshair
FPS
placement.
games, I think.
Yeah. It didn't take me too long to get used to keyboard and mouse.
How many hours do you have on like M&K shooters? Because I feel like it's quite
M&K?
low.
I have like 3 years. Three and a half probably now.
Okay.
And then aim training I have about 500 hours. So
How many hours do you have, Pingu?
I think when I didn't count Warframe, it came out to be like 6k a year ago. So it's probably like
Right.
7 now.
is that counting
I suppose
TF2?
so, yeah. Yeah, it counts TF2.
So that's like half
I
your
have
hours.
3.5k. Yeah. Yeah, the only other game that has really captured me like that was Apex. And of course Gundam, but that
Gundam, yeah.
perished. And then Diabolical, which also perished.
First.
Yep.
You're very unlucky.
Yep.
Don't play COD.
Unlucky.
It'll
unlucky
fucking
genetics
die.
to
Bring
like
it
the
down.
wrong genre.
Destroy the franchise.
Let's play some games
Get
tomorrow.
really into it.
1080.
Yeah.
Now 1140
Get
is
nuked.
TV.
So yeah,
Jade.
I guess to answer the question, a lot. If you use your time more effectively, you will get better quicker. But it is a long journey, regardless. There's
matter
that
what
quote
you do.
about 10,000 hours makes a master, which isn't that substantiated, but I have found that number to be a pretty good like ballpark. And obviously, you can do it faster. Some people might do it in more time if they aren't as focused, but you're looking at, those 5-digit hours. But yeah, that doesn't mean you can't make really good progress in, 2, 3, 4,000 hours though.
Yeah, 100%.
It's more about how you use your time than the raw amount of time you put in.
Mhm.
This is a fun one. What would your dream FPS be? From Akwek.
Black Ops 4.
Black Ops for just that? That's the dream?
Please just bring Black Ops 4 back. I beg. Black Ops 4, MW19.
Either
No
of them would be
changes.
really good. Really good.
I beg.
This one's tough for me. I'm having a think because, I have never really had one FPS game besides back when I didn't know anything about other
Thousand.
FPS games that's given me everything I wanted from a game. Because, sometimes I will want an experience like Apex where I will get super into the game I'm playing right now and death really is punishing. So I don't want to die. So I'm super focused and, it's an immersive experience when it's going well and really engrossing to succeed against so many other people. But that fucking kills me to play every day when I'm just dropping and dying and dropping and dying and dropping and dying. So I'll swap over to a different game and a different game and a different game. And that same kind of dynamic has really prevented me from getting too burnt out on the genre. I don't think there is a single game that could hold my interest fully anymore. I don't think there's anything.
Like right now or ever?
I don't know. I feel like I would always be jumping between them because, you know, the core gameplay loop just isn't something that a single game could hold me on for like a super long time, I don't think.
Do you not have a game where you just absolutely loved it and you wouldn't change a thing about it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely I do. But, you know, I don't think I could play it forever. And I think I'd still want to play other games. I guess the answer to that would be like an FPS that includes a bunch of other FPS games and a bunch of different, you know, options for game modes or gameplay loops. Because, you know, even the difference between like Apex and Battlefield 5, not even structurally but mechanically, is really interesting to me. And I find it, you know, engaging to go between them when I get burnt out on one. So yeah, that's what I've kind of realized about my taste in FPS recently. It's not that I dislike FPS as a genre, it's that I like the variety of swapping between different games. And I don't know if there's a single game that could like fully hold my interest because of that.
That's interesting.
Fair.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a result of the 13,000 hours I have in this genre. I don't know. But yeah. I think even if there was something that came out that was really, really good, I wouldn't like commit my life to it and go pro or something. I think I'd always want to try something else or try something else.
What about you, Pingo?
It would probably be having like Gundam as a base. I think with slightly more expressive movement, throw in BF4 movement, and then not actually, but like, you know, something
Less
more like
buggy.
AFPS
Battlefield
adjacent.
4.
I
Just
love
like
shit
having
that
some
you can
tech
learn.
and having yeah,
Where you
having
can
some tech, having
elevate
a bit more
yourself.
creativity,
Yeah,
a bit
above
more
other
expression.
people. Yeah.
There was some for sure. There was like essentially like wave dashing that really added a lot, but just having a few other mobility options and a few other like ways to engage in combat that are interesting would add a lot for me. And then of course like not having the 120 FPS cap is a big one.
Yeah.
But that sort of hero shooter style where mechanics are still really, really important, but not the only thing that matters. And having a really wide variety of the way people play the game. Like there's a character where you can be shit at FPSs, but if you like make the right decisions, you're very impactful. And then there's like a bunch of different styles of aim as well. And I found that very compelling, but it all felt fairly balanced. So yeah, something in that sort of genre with slightly more fleshed out mechanics would probably be the closest thing I would consider to a dream FPS.
Probably the same for me, but again, I feel like I'd get, you know, I'd feel the need to play something else after a bit. I don't know if I could
Yeah,
just
me
like
too,
hop on
me
and play
too.
that every day. But
For
I
me,
agree,
it's
that would
just
be
like-
really good.
I just, you know, am I the best aimer in the lobby? Yes, then I should be winning almost every game. Like that's how
that
that's how
kind
I
of is
feel.
how it goes. But
Maybe not ranked, but
you
at
know,
least
there are other
pubs.
elements.
Yeah.
I've kind of had to drop
That's
that
fair.
mentality because, like, you know, I hope this doesn't come off as egotistical. When you go into a game, like 99 times out of 100, 999 times out of 1,000, you know, raw aim wise, you'll be better than everyone in the lobby just because of how much time you put in aim training and improvement. Most people
Yeah.
don't care about that. And you're not going to win 999 games. out of
Yeah,
1,000.
never mind aim training. Fucking, I've played so much of the actual games that I main, you know, that I should be winning, but I don't.
I don't know about you. I have like a negative win loss in BO6 right now.
I don't want
It's
to
like
say it's not
0.8.
negative, but
Mine's like 0.8.
you know, it's not as bad as that, but it's not good.
Yeah, it does feel shit.
I
so-
will say BS6 is the first game in the Call of Duty series where I just leave. Like if the lobby
Me
is bad, I just leave because it's no matter what I do, it's unwinnable. I could turn hacks on, I would still not
140.
win.
Dude, I don't
Like
think
it's
this
just
is possible.
predetermined in the lobby.
I need
Yeah.
so
So
much speed
bad.
for this shit.
I feel like it's more visible in this game for some reason than in the
It
previous
is.
pods that they're
It-
manipulating your
100%.
play experience, and I hate that feeling. I hate it so much.
Back in the day, I feel like I solo, or at least in a duo, I could win almost every game. This game, there's no chance. There's like I cannot win no matter how. I could drop a nuke and somehow I would still lose.
Someone drops it
It's just
first.
yeah, legit. It's
Yeah, I agree though.
Yeah.
It's
it's
I
not
don't
very.
know. Kind of have to just like stop caring about it and play the
Mhm.
game for the gameplay loop or I don't know something that isn't winning. Because yeah,
I've been playing for clips. That's all I've been doing. If I play for like win-loss or trying to win, I actually lose my temper. I get mad, so I can't do it.
there's nothing you can do. Games
Nothing.
cooked.
But yeah, that's Call of Duty. I don't know about other
Yeah.
games.
Well, you're not gonna win every game in Valorant. Just because like you might shoot better than someone, but they might have some fucking crazy tech that you've never heard of and it just kills you.
They got the server lineups. Played that game the other day.
How'd it go?
Boring.
Oh no.
Anyway,
I like the GM, but I don't think I'll ever go back to grinding ranked in that game. It's just not for
I
me.
played Spike Rush.
That's kind of fun actually. I like that.
Spike
one.
Rush is okay. I was doing alright, but fuck man, there's so much
Anyways,
downtime.
done